Jake Murphy wiped his greasy hands on his old work shirt and looked around his repair shop. Tools hung from every wall and broken machines filled every corner. The smell of oil and metal was strong in the air. Rain hit the windows hard, making the small building feel even smaller. He had been fixing things for 12 years on this planet. Earth was far from the big cities and busy trade routes. Most people here were farmers or miners. They brought Jake their broken tractors, old computers, and damaged mining equipment. He could fix almost anything, even if he had never seen it before. The door chime rang. Jake looked up from the engine he was working on. A small figure stood in the doorway, dripping wet from the rain. At first, Jake thought it was a human child. Then he saw her skin. It had a light blue color like the sky just before sunrise. Her eyes were bigger than normal, with silver centers that seemed to glow. She was maybe 8 years old. Her clothes were torn and dirty. She held something close to her chest with both arms. Jake could see it was some kind of machine, but it looked broken. "Please help," the child said. Her voice was soft and scared. She spoke English, but the words sounded strange. "My friend is hurt." Jake put down his tools and walked closer. The child stepped back, but she did not run. Jake knelt down so he was at her eye level. "It's okay," he said gently. "I'm Jake. What's your name?" "Zara," she whispered. She held out the broken machine. "This is Keeper. He won't wake up." Jake looked at what she was holding. It was unlike anything he had ever seen. The machine was about the size of a cat. Its body was made of some kind of crystal that had cracks running through it. Inside, Jake could see tiny lights and wires that looked more grown than built. The whole thing felt warm, even though it was clearly broken. "What happened to him?" Jake asked. Zara's big eyes filled with tears. "Bad men came. They hurt our ship. We fell from the sky. Keeper protected me, but now he's broken." She touched one of the cracks in the crystal. "Can you fix him?" Jake had never seen technology like this before. The crystal body felt alive somehow. The circuits inside moved like blood vessels. This was not human-made. This was alien technology, far beyond anything on Earth. But when Jake looked at Zara's face, he saw something he understood. A scared child who had lost something important. It did not matter that she was not human. It did not matter that her friend was a machine he could not understand. What mattered was helping. "I don't have money," Zara said quickly, "but please try." "Keeper is all I have left," Jake smiled. "Don't worry about money. Let me see what I can do." He took Keeper carefully from Zara's arms. The machine was heavier than it looked. Jake could feel something moving inside it, like a very weak heartbeat. Whatever this thing was, it was not completely dead. "You can sit over there," Jake pointed to an old chair in the corner. "This might take a while." Zara nodded and sat down. She watched Jake with hopeful eyes as he carried Keeper to his work table. Jake turned on his brightest lights and got out his best tools. High above the planet, hidden in the darkness of space, a huge ship waited. Inside the ship, Empress Lydia Vex stood before a wall of screens. Each screen showed a different view of Jake's repair shop. She could see her daughter sitting in the corner. She could see the human examining Keeper. Lydia had been searching for Zara for 3 weeks. Pirates had attacked their ship while traveling to Earth for peace talks. In the confusion, Zara's escape pod had been damaged. It crashed somewhere on this backward planet. Lydia had found the crash site, but Zara was already gone. Now she watched this human stranger with her daughter. Lydia's hand rested on her weapon. If this human hurt Zara in any way, she would destroy him and everything around him. But the human seemed kind. He spoke gently to Zara. He looked at Keeper with careful attention, not greed. Lydia had expected humans to be rough and violent. The reports said they were a young species barely out of their own star system, but this one showed patience, Your Majesty, said Captain Ross, her military commander. "We should retrieve the princess now. This human could be dangerous." Lydia watched Jake work. He was being very careful with Keeper. "Wait," she said. "I want to see what he does." Back in the shop, Jake studied Keeper under his brightest magnifying glass. The alien technology was amazing. The circuits seemed to grow and change as he watched. The crystal body was not just a shell. It was part of the machine somehow. Jake had worked on many strange machines. Mining companies brought him alien artifacts they found in deep caves. Space traders sometimes needed repairs on foreign equipment. But this was different. This felt alive. "What does Keeper do?" Jake asked Zara. "He takes care of me," Zara said. "He teaches me things. He tells me stories. He keeps me safe." Her voice got very quiet. He saved me from the bad men. Jake nodded. This was not just a toy. This was Zara's guardian and friend. No wonder she was so upset. Jake found the main power source. It was a small sphere deep inside Keeper's chest. The sphere was cracked. Energy leaked out through the crack like blood from a wound. Jake had never seen anything like it, but he understood the problem. The power was escaping. Without power, Keeper could not function. The question was how to fix it. Jake had no alien parts. He had no instructions. He only had his tools and his experience fixing broken things. But Jake had always believed that every machine was just a puzzle. It did not matter if it was made by humans or aliens. Something was broken and something could fix it. He just had to figure out what. Don't worry, Keeper, Jake said quietly.
I'll figure this out. Zara smiled for the first time since entering the shop.
Maybe this strange human really could help. Maybe Keeper would be okay. Maybe everything would be all right. High above, Empress Lydia continued to watch. Her daughter trusted this human. That was worth something. But could he really repair Keeper? Her best engineers had said it was impossible. The rain kept falling. Jake kept working. And somewhere in the darkness of space, the most powerful woman in the galaxy waited to see what a simple human mechanic could do. Jake worked on Keeper for 3 days straight. He only stopped to eat and sleep for a few hours. Zara came to the shop every morning and stayed until evening. She sat quietly in her corner chair, watching Jake with hopeful eyes. On the first day, Jake carefully took Keeper apart. Each piece was more amazing than the last. The circuits were not made of metal like human machines. They looked like tiny living vines that carried electricity instead of water. The crystal shell was not just protection. It was part of how Keeper thought and felt. Jake had never seen anything like the power source. It was a small ball that seemed to hold starlight inside it. The crack in the ball was the main problem. Energy kept leaking out. Without enough energy, Keeper could not wake up. How does this work? Jake asked himself many times. He studied each part under his magnifying glass. He drew pictures and took notes. Slowly, he began to understand. Keeper was not built like human machines. Human machines had separate parts that worked together. Keeper was more like a living thing. Every part connected to every other part. The crystal body was the skeleton. The vine-like circuits were the nerves. The power source was the heart. He's beautiful, Zara said on the second day. She was looking at Keeper's crystal body. He used to glow when he was awake. Different colors for different feelings, and blue when he was happy, green when he was thinking, red when there was danger. Jake nodded. What did he teach you? Everything, Zara said. Math and science and history. But also how to be kind, how to help others, how to be brave when scared. She touched one of the broken circuits gently. He told me stories about brave people who helped others even when it was hard. Jake understood now why Keeper was so important to Zara. He was not just a machine. He was family. On the second day, Jake tried to fix the crack in the power source. He used special glue that worked on alien metals. But the crack opened again as soon as he put power through it. The energy was too strong for any human repair. Jake sat back and thought. He could not fix the alien power source with human tools. But maybe he did not need to. Maybe he could work around it. Jake went to his supply room and found an old human power cell. It was much bigger than Keeper's power source, but it might work. Human power was different from alien power. It was rougher, less smooth. But it was also stronger in some ways. Jake carefully connected the human power cell to Keeper's systems. He had to build new connectors because nothing fit right. The human power was too harsh for Keeper's delicate circuits. Jake added filters and converters to make the power gentle enough. What are you doing? Zara asked. Giving Keeper a new heart, Jake said. A human heart. High above the planet, Empress Lydia watched everything. Her science advisor, Dr. Kane, stood beside her. This is impossible, Dr. Kane said. Human technology is too primitive. Their power systems are completely different from ours. This human will destroy Keeper trying to fix him. Lydia said nothing. She watched Jake work with careful hands. The human was doing things her best engineers said could not be done. He was mixing human and alien technology in ways that should not work, but Lydia could see something her advisors missed. The human was not trying to copy alien technology. He was creating something new, something that was part human and part alien. Your Majesty, Captain Ross said, the princess has been gone for 4 days. The council is asking questions. We should retrieve her now. Not yet, Lydia said. I want to see if this works. On the third day, Jake found more problems. The crack in the power source had damaged some of Keeper's memory circuits. These circuits held all of Keeper's personality and knowledge. Without them, even if Jake got Keeper working, he would not be the same. Jake studied the damaged memory circuits. They were like tiny crystal trees with information stored in each branch. Many branches were broken. Jake could not regrow alien crystal, but maybe he could replace the broken parts with something else. Jake found some fiber optic cables in his supplies. These cables carried light signals just like Keeper's crystal circuits. They were much thicker and cruder than the alien crystals, but they might work. Jake spent hours connecting tiny fiber optic strands to the broken crystal branches. It was like performing surgery with tools made for building houses. His hands cramped from the delicate work. His eyes burned from staring through the magnifying glass. "Why are you helping me?" Zara asked during lunch on the third day. Jake looked up from his sandwich. "Because you need help," he said simply. "But I'm not human. Keeper is not human. We're strangers," Jake smiled. "Doesn't matter. You're just a kid who lost something important. I've been a kid before. I know how that feels." Zara was quiet for a long time. Then she said, "Most people in the galaxy are afraid of my family. They want things from us, but you just want to help." "That's what people should do," Jake said. "Help each other." Zara smiled. It was the first real smile Jake had seen from her. That afternoon, Jake made the final connections. He had replaced the cracked power source with a human power cell. He had bridged the broken memory circuits with fiber optic cables. He had reinforced the crystal shell with a special human composite that was stronger than the original. Keeper looked different now. The crystal shell had streaks of silver where Jake had added the human composite. The new circuits glowed with a warmer light. The human power cell was visible through the crystal, pulsing like a real heart. "Ready?" Jake asked Zara. She nodded, too nervous to speak. Jake pressed the power button he had built into Keeper's chest. For a moment, nothing happened. Then slowly, light began to spread through Keeper's body. The crystal shell started to glow. The new circuits lit up one by one. Keeper's eyes opened. They glowed with a warm amber light instead of the cold blue they had before. The android sat up slowly and looked around. "Zara?" Keeper's voice was the same, but somehow different. "Warmer, more alive, Keeper!" Zara threw her arms around the android. "You're okay?" Keeper looked at Jake. "You repaired me. But you did more than that. You changed me. I can feel it." "I'm more than I was before," Jake grinned. "How do you feel?" "Different, better. Like I am truly alive for the first time." Keeper stood up and tested his movements. "You combined human and alien technology. You created something new." High above, Dr. Kane stared at the screens in shock. "Impossible," he whispered. "The readings show Keeper is functioning at 150% of his original capacity. The human improvements have made him better than before." Empress Lydia smiled for the first time in weeks. Her daughter was safe. Keeper was not just repaired, but improved, and it was all because of one human who refused to give up. "Perhaps," she said quietly, "we have underestimated humans." Jake stepped back and watched Keeper move around the shop. The android was testing his new systems, picking up tools and examining them with curious eyes. The warm amber glow from his crystal body filled the room with gentle light. "Everything feels different," Keeper said. "Sharper. More connected. I can understand human technology now, not just alien systems." He picked up Jake's welding torch and studied it. "I see how this works. The principles are simple but effective." Zara laughed and clapped her hands. "You're better than before." Keeper nodded. "Jake did not just repair me. He improved me. I am now a bridge between two types of technology." The android looked at Jake with something that seemed like gratitude. "Thank you for giving me new life." Jake felt proud of his work. He had done something his teacher said was impossible. He had mixed human and alien technology and made it work better than either could alone. "Can you still tell stories?" Zara asked. "Of course," Keeper said. His voice was warm and gentle. "But now I can tell human stories too. Jake's memories from working on me have given me access to human culture and knowledge." Jake raised his eyebrows. "You can access my memories?" "Only the ones about fixing things," Keeper explained. "But through those memories I learned about human creativity and determination. It's fascinating how humans solve problems differently than other species." The three of them spent the next hour talking. Keeper shared stories about distant planets and alien civilizations. Jake told them about life on Earth and the people who brought him broken machines to fix. Zara talked about her home world and the beautiful crystal cities there. Jake was learning that Zara was not just any alien child. She spoke about palaces and servants and teachers, but she also talked about being lonely and having few real friends. Only Keeper had been her constant companion. Most people are afraid to be themselves around me, Zara said sadly. They always worry about saying the wrong thing. Why? Jake asked. Zara looked uncomfortable. Because of who my family is. They have a lot of power. Before Jake could ask more questions, the door to his shop exploded inward. 3 large figures stomped through the smoke and debris. They were aliens, but not like Zara. These creatures were tall and covered in dark scales. They had too many teeth and eyes that glowed red in the dim light. "Found you, little princess," one of them hissed. His voice sounded like grinding metal. "You've caused us a lot of trouble." Jake jumped in front of Zara without thinking. "Get away from her!" The lead alien laughed. It was not a pleasant sound. "Brave little human, but you don't understand what you're protecting." He pulled out a weapon that hummed with dangerous energy. "This child is worth more than your entire planet." "I don't care," Jake said. His heart was beating fast, but he did not move away from Zara. "You're not taking her." "Jake, no," Zara whispered. "These are Vorthak pirates. They're very dangerous. They'll kill you." The second alien stepped forward. "Smart child. Yes, we are Vorthak. We hunt the most valuable prey in the galaxy, and Andorian royalty pays very well in ransom." Now Jake understood. Zara was not just from a powerful family. She was a princess. These pirates wanted to kidnap her and sell her back to her family. "The little android is broken anyway," the third alien said, pointing at Keeper. "Worthless now." "Actually," Keeper said calmly, "I am functioning quite well." The pirates looked surprised. They had expected Keeper to be dead or damaged beyond repair. "Impossible," the lead pirate said. "Our weapons destroyed your power core. Nothing could fix that damage." "Human ingenuity," Keeper replied. "Something you clearly do not understand." The lead pirate raised his weapon toward Jake. "Enough talk. Give us the princess or the human dies," Jake's mind raced. He had no weapons that could fight alien technology. The pirates' energy guns could kill him in seconds, but he could not let them take Zara. "Wait," Jake said. "Let me get her things first. She'll want her belongings." The pirate nodded impatiently. "Be quick about it." Jake slowly moved toward his workbench. He caught Keeper's eye and pointed slightly toward a pile of equipment. The android understood immediately. Jake had not just fixed Keeper. He had connected the android to his shop's electrical systems during the repair process. Keeper could now interface with any technology in the building. "Now," Jake shouted. Keeper's eyes blazed with bright light. Every piece of electronic equipment in the shop activated at once. Lights flashed. Welding torches ignited. The radio blasted static at full volume. Most importantly, the electromagnetic pulse generator Jake used for testing circuits turned on at maximum power. The EMP blast hit the pirates' weapons and armor. Sparks flew from their energy guns. Their communication devices went dead. Their advanced targeting systems failed completely. "What is this?" the lead pirate screamed, trying to make his weapon work. "Human chaos," Keeper said. "Very effective against organized systems." The pirates were strong and dangerous, but without their technology they were much less scary. Jake grabbed a heavy wrench and swung it at the nearest pirate. The alien stumbled backward, surprised by the attack. Keeper moved faster than Jake had ever seen. The android used the shop's robotic arms to grab the second pirate. Sparks flew as Keeper's hybrid systems overpowered the alien's natural strength. The third pirate tried to run, but Zara stuck out her foot and tripped him. The alien fell hard into a pile of spare parts. "Jake!" Zara called out. "More ships are coming." Through the broken door, Jake could see lights in the sky. 3 more pirate vessels were landing near his shop. Each ship held more Vorthak warriors. "We need help," Jake said. "Help is coming," Keeper replied. His eyes were glowing brighter now. "I have sent a distress signal using the shop's communications array. Local human security forces are responding." But Jake could see the new ships landing. Human security would not be enough against this many pirates with advanced weapons. "There's something else," Keeper said quietly. "I have also sent a signal to Zara's family. They have been looking for her." Zara's eyes went wide. "You called my mother?" "Yes, Princess," Keeper said. Empress Lydia Vex should receive the signal very soon. Jake stared at them. Empress? Your mother is an empress? Before anyone could answer, the sky above them began to glow with a strange light. The pirate ships that were landing suddenly stopped and tried to take off again, but they moved too slowly. A massive shadow fell across the entire area. Jake looked up and saw something that made his breath catch in his throat. A ship larger than anything he had ever imagined was descending from the clouds. It was easily the size of a small city, covered in lights and weapon ports. Oh no, Jake whispered. What have I gotten myself into? The three pirates who had attacked his shop suddenly looked very scared. They tried to run, but human security vehicles were already surrounding the area. The Andorian Imperial Fleet, one of the pirates said in terror. We're all dead. Zara looked at Jake with worried eyes. I should have told you who I really was, but I was afraid you wouldn't help me if you knew. Jake looked at the massive ship above them, then at the scared little girl beside him. Empress or not, she was still just a child who had needed help. It doesn't matter, Jake said. You needed help and I helped. That's what people should do. But as the huge ship settled in the field behind his shop, Jake wondered if he was about to meet the most powerful person in the galaxy, and he wondered if she would be happy about a human mechanic fixing her daughter's guardian. The massive ship blocked out the sun as it landed in the field behind Jake's repair shop. The ground shook under its weight. Windows rattled in nearby buildings. The three Vorthak pirates fell to their knees, knowing they were doomed. Jake had never seen anything so huge and powerful. The ship was covered in smooth metal that seemed to shift and change color. Weapons lined its sides like teeth in a giant mouth. This was clearly a warship designed to destroy entire planets. That's my mother's flagship, Zara said quietly. The Star of Andoria. Human security vehicles surrounded the area, but their officers stayed back. They knew their small weapons were useless against alien technology this advanced. Jake could see news crews arriving in the distance. Soon the whole galaxy would know about this. A beam of blue light shot down from the ship. When the light faded, a woman stood in Jake's destroyed doorway. Jake's breath caught in his throat. She was the most impressive person he had ever seen. Empress Lydia Vex was tall and elegant, with the same blue-tinted skin as Zara but darker and more commanding. Her silver hair was arranged in complex braids that seemed to float around her head. She wore a long coat that looked like it was made from starlight itself. Power radiated from her like heat from a fire. But what struck Jake most were her eyes. They were the same silver as Zara's, but ancient and wise. These were the eyes of someone who had ruled worlds and commanded the loyalty of trillions of beings. Mother, Zara ran to the Empress, who caught her daughter in a tight hug. My precious child, Lydia said, her voice soft with relief. I thought I had lost you forever. Jake watched the reunion and felt a mix of emotions. He was happy that Zara was safe with her family, but he was also afraid. This woman could destroy his entire world with a single command. After holding Zara for a long moment, Empress Lydia looked at Jake. Her expression was unreadable. Jake felt like she was looking right through him, seeing everything he had ever done. You are the human who repaired Keeper, she said. It was not a question. Yes, Your Majesty, Jake said, trying to sound respectful. He was not sure how to address an empress. Show me, Lydia commanded. Keeper stepped forward and bowed deeply. Your Imperial Majesty, I am fully functional and improved beyond my original specifications. Lydia's eyes widened slightly. She walked around Keeper, examining him carefully. Jake could see her surprise growing as she studied the repairs. This is impossible, she said finally. My best engineers declared you beyond repair. The quantum consciousness matrix was completely destroyed. Jake built me a new one, Keeper said proudly, using human technology and creativity. I am now a hybrid of human and Andorian systems. Lydia looked at Jake with new interest. You created a quantum consciousness matrix? With primitive human technology? I don't know what that means, Jake said honestly. I just saw that his thinking parts were broken and found a way to fix them. Show me exactly what you did, Lydia ordered. Jake led her to his workbench. He pointed out the human power cell that now powered Keeper's systems. He showed her the fiber optic cables that replaced the broken crystal circuits. He explained how he had reinforced the crystal shell with human composite materials. Each repair should have failed, Lydia said, more to herself than to Jake. Human power systems are too crude. Your electronics are too simple. Your materials are too weak. But they work, Jake said. Sometimes simple things work better than complicated ones. Lydia picked up one of Jake's tools and examined it. You have no understanding of quantum mechanics. No knowledge of consciousness transfer protocols. No training in bioneural integration. Yet you accomplished what my greatest scientists could not. I understand broken things, Jake said, and I understand how to fix them. Indeed you do, Lydia said thoughtfully. Captain Ross appeared in a flash of blue light. He immediately knelt before the Empress. Your Majesty, the pirates have been captured. The Vorthak vessels are disabled. What are your orders? Execute them, Lydia said without emotion. Slowly. Make sure others know what happens to those who threaten my daughter. Jake felt sick. He knew the pirates were bad, but execution seemed harsh. Your Majesty, maybe they could just go to prison instead. Lydia looked at him in surprise. You defend those who would have killed you and kidnapped my daughter? I'm not defending them, Jake said carefully. But killing them won't make anything better. It will just make more enemies. Interesting perspective, Lydia said. Very human. Tell me, what would you do with them? Jake thought for a moment. Make them work to pay for the damage they caused. Use them to help catch other pirates. Show them a better way to live. Lydia considered this. Captain Ross, place the pirates in maximum security. They will be tried according to Andorian law. Yes, Your Majesty, Ross said, looking confused by the change in orders. Lydia turned back to Jake. You continue to surprise me, human. First you repair the irreparable, then you show mercy to your enemies. Jake is good, Zara said. He helped me when he didn't have to.
He gave me food and a safe place to stay.
He worked for days to fix Keeper without asking for anything in return. Is this true? Lydia asked Jake. She needed help, Jake said simply. That's what anyone would do. No, Lydia said firmly. That is what humans would do. Most species in the galaxy would have seen opportunity. They would have demanded payment or tried to sell her to the highest bidder. You asked for nothing. Lydia walked around the shop examining Jake's tools and equipment. Tell me about your repair methods. Jake spent the next hour explaining how he approached fixing broken machines. He showed her examples of his work. He described how he combined different technologies to solve problems. Fascinating, Lydia said. Your species approaches technology completely differently than ours. We seek perfection and efficiency. You embrace chaos and creativity. Sometimes the best solutions come from trying crazy things, Jake said. Indeed they do. Lydia picked up Keeper and examined him again. This android now exceeds the capabilities of our most advanced models. Your crazy repairs have created something revolutionary. She set Keeper down and looked directly at Jake. I have a proposition for you, Jake Murphy. Come with me to Andoria. Be my chief innovation advisor. Help my people learn to think like humans. In return, I will give you resources beyond your imagination and access to technology from 1,000 worlds. Jake was stunned. The most powerful person in the galaxy was offering him a job. He could travel to other worlds, work with alien technology, have wealth and power he had never dreamed of. But Jake looked around his small, cluttered shop. This was his home. These were his people. Earth needed mechanics too. That's a generous offer, Your Majesty, Jake said. But I have a different idea. Lydia raised an eyebrow. You would refuse my offer? Not refuse, Jake said quickly. Suggest something better. Instead of taking me away from Earth, why not bring your people here? Set up a research station where humans and aliens can work together, share knowledge, and learn from each other. Lydia looked thoughtful. Continue. Humans have something the galaxy needs, Jake said, gaining confidence. We think differently. We find solutions others miss. But we also need to learn from you. Working together, we could create amazing things. Like Keeper, Zara added excitedly. He's better because he's part human and part alien. Lydia smiled at her daughter. Out of the mouths of children comes wisdom. She looked back at Jake. You propose a partnership between our species? Why not, Jake said. The universe is big enough for everyone to work together. Lydia was quiet for a long time. Finally, she nodded. Very well, Jake Murphy. We will try your approach. I will establish an embassy on Earth, with your repair shop as the center of our research efforts. But you will remain as the head of this operation. Jake grinned. I'd like that, Your Majesty. Please, Lydia said. Call me Lydia. After what you have done for my daughter, we are family now. Zara clapped her hands with joy. Does this mean I can visit Jake sometimes? As often as you like, Lydia said. I think Jake has much to teach you about helping others. Jake looked around his shop, trying to imagine it as the center of galactic cooperation. It seemed impossible, but then again, he had just fixed an alien android with human tools. Maybe impossible things happened more often than people thought. Outside, human and alien security forces were working together to clean up after the pirate attack. It was a small start, but it was a start. And sometimes, Jake reflected, the biggest changes began with the smallest acts of kindness. 6 months later, Jake's repair shop looked very different. The building was still small and cluttered, but now it was filled with technology from across the galaxy. Alien engineers worked alongside human mechanics, sharing tools and ideas. The smell of oil and metal was joined by the sweet scent of Andorian crystal circuits and the sharp tang of Vorthak energy cells. Jake stood at his old workbench, now expanded with alien tools that could reshape matter at the atomic level, but he still kept his simple human wrenches and screwdrivers nearby. Sometimes the old ways worked better than the new ones. "Jake, come look at this," called Lisa Chen, a young human engineer who had joined the project 3 months ago. She was working with Brack, a large alien with 4 arms and blue skin. Together, they were trying to fix a damaged mining robot. Jake walked over to their workstation. The robot's power core was completely burned out. In the old days, Jake would have declared it unfixable, but now they had options. "We think we can use a hybrid power system," Lisa explained. "Human battery technology for backup power, and Andorian crystal technology for main power. The combination should be more reliable than either system alone." "Like Keeper," Brack added in his deep, rumbling voice. "Mixed technology works better." Jake nodded approvingly. This was exactly what he had hoped for. Humans and aliens learning from each other, creating solutions neither could achieve alone. "Try it," Jake said, "but remember to add surge protection. Human power can be rough on alien circuits." As Lisa and Brack went back to work, Jake heard familiar voices outside. He looked through the window and saw Zara walking toward the shop with Keeper beside her. The little princess visited Earth every few weeks, always eager to see what new projects they were working on. "Jake," Zara called out as she entered the shop. She had grown taller in the past 6 months, and her English was much better now. "Look what Keeper can do." Keeper's crystal body glowed brightly as he interfaced with a broken alien communicator. Within seconds, the device was working perfectly. But then Keeper did something new. He made the communicator better, adding functions that had never existed before. "Amazing," Jake said. "Your hybrid systems keep evolving." "I learn something new every day," Keeper said proudly. "Working with both human and alien technology has taught me to think in ways I never could before." "How are things on Andoria?" Jake asked Zara. "Exciting," Zara said. "Mother has started using human-style thinking in all our research projects. We've solved 3 major engineering problems that had been stuck for years, and we're building new ships using hybrid technology." Jake smiled. The partnership was working better than anyone had expected. Human creativity combined with alien precision was producing remarkable results. Trade between Earth and the Andorian Empire had increased dramatically. Other alien species were asking to join the project. "Your Majesty wishes to speak with you," Keeper told Jake. "She is in orbit aboard the Star of Andoria." A blue light surrounded Jake, and suddenly he was standing on the bridge of the massive starship. Empress Lydia turned from a huge display screen that showed star charts and battle reports. "Jake," she said warmly, "thank you for coming." "Your Majesty," Jake said. "You look worried." "What's wrong?" "The Malthian Consortium has declared war on the Andorian Empire," Lydia explained. "They have technology we cannot match. Their ships are faster and their weapons more powerful. My military advisors say we cannot win." Jake studied the star charts. The Malthian ships did look impressive. They were sleek and deadly, built for pure efficiency. "What makes their technology so good?" Jake asked. "Perfect integration," Captain Ross explained. "Every system works in harmony. No wasted energy, no redundancy, no flaws. It is technological perfection." Jake frowned. "That sounds like a weakness, not a strength." "How so?" Lydia asked. "Perfect systems are fragile," Jake said. "They work great when everything goes according to plan. But when something unexpected happens, they break completely." He pointed to one of the Malthian ship designs. "Look at this power distribution system. It's incredibly efficient, but if you damage one relay, the whole ship loses power. So how do we exploit this weakness?" Lydia asked. Jake grinned. "We fight them with chaos. Human-style chaos. 3 days later, the Andorian fleet met the Malthian consortium at the edge of the Kepler system. The Malthian ships were beautiful and terrifying, moving in perfect formation like a school of deadly fish. Admiral Nash, commanding the Andorian fleet, opened communications with the enemy commander. "This is Admiral Corax of the Malthian consortium," came the reply. "Surrender now and your deaths will be quick." "This is Admiral Nash of the Andorian Empire," Nash responded. "We have a counteroffer. Surrender now and we'll let you go home." Corax laughed. "Your obsolete ships cannot match our technology. We will destroy you in minutes." "Maybe," Nash said, "but we've made some improvements recently. Care to test them?" The battle began as the Malthian ships fired their advanced weapons. Their energy beams were incredibly precise, designed to hit vital systems and disable ships quickly. But the Andorian ships did not behave as expected. Instead of fighting back with their main weapons, the Andorian ships released clouds of small objects. The objects looked like space junk, bits of metal, old equipment, broken machinery. The Malthian weapons easily destroyed these objects, but there were thousands of them. "What is this?" Corax demanded. "Why are you throwing garbage at us?" "Not garbage," Nash replied. "Improvised electromagnetic pulse devices. Human design." As the Malthian weapons destroyed the small objects, each one released a burst of electromagnetic energy. The bursts were random and chaotic, creating interference patterns that grew stronger as they combined. The Malthian ships, designed for perfect efficiency, could not handle the chaos. Their precise targeting systems failed. Their perfect power distribution networks overloaded. Their flawless coordination broke down as communication systems went offline. "Impossible," Corax screamed as his flagship lost power. "Our technology is perfect." "That's the problem," Nash said. "Perfect things break when you hit them with imperfection." The Andorian ships, built with human-inspired redundancy and chaos tolerance, continued fighting even as systems failed. When their main weapons were damaged, they switched to backup weapons. When their communication arrays were destroyed, individual captains made their own decisions. Within an hour, the entire Malthian fleet was disabled or destroyed. The survivors were rescued and treated well, following Jake's advice about showing mercy to enemies. Back on Earth, Jake watched the battle reports with satisfaction. The hybrid approach was working even in warfare. Human chaos combined with alien precision created something stronger than either could achieve alone. "The consortium is asking for peace talks," Lydia told him over the communication link. "They want to learn about our hybrid technology." "Good," Jake said. "War is expensive. Better to work together." Months passed. The partnership between Earth and Andoria grew stronger. Other alien species joined the alliance, each bringing their own knowledge and perspectives. Jake's small repair shop became the center of a galactic research network. Young humans learned alien engineering techniques. Alien students studied human problem-solving methods. New technologies emerged almost daily, each one better than what came before. Jake often worked late into the night, surrounded by beings from a dozen different worlds. They laughed together over shared jokes, argued about technical problems, and celebrated each breakthrough. The differences between species seemed less important than their shared desire to build something better. One evening, as Jake was closing up the shop, Zara and Keeper stopped by for a visit. "I have news," Zara announced excitedly. "The Galactic Council has voted to make Earth a full member. You'll have representatives in the government and everything." Jake sat down heavily in his old chair. "Earth is joining galactic civilization? Because we learned to fix things together? Because you showed us something we had forgotten," Keeper said. "That the best solutions come from helping each other, not competing against each other. And because you proved that different can be better," Zara added. "Every species in the galaxy is stronger when we work together." Jake looked around his shop. Human tools sat next to alien devices. Engineers from different worlds worked side by side. A scared alien child's broken toy had become the foundation for galactic cooperation. Not bad for a simple mechanic, Jake said to himself. "You were never simple," Keeper said. "You saw a child who needed help and you helped her. You saw a broken thing and you fixed it. You saw species that could work together, and you brought them together. That takes wisdom, not simplicity," Jake smiled. "Maybe, but I still think the most important thing is just being willing to help when someone needs it. Especially when that someone is different from you," Zara said. Especially then, Jake agreed. Outside the shop, humans and aliens worked together under the light of distant stars. Ships from dozens of worlds came and went, carrying new ideas and technologies across the galaxy. Children of many species played together in the streets, learning that differences made life more interesting, not more difficult. And in his small, cluttered repair shop, Jake Murphy continued fixing broken things and teaching others that everything could be repaired with